we're going to do some horizontal graduation. So we know that we can cut graduation two ways. We can cut graduation vertically, which is when we take sections up and down the way, and we can do it horizontally, which means across the way and pulling out like that. So we're talking about horizontal graduation. Today we're not going to do a short graduation, which we all know starts between 0 and 45 degrees, and longer graduation starts from 45 to 90 degrees. So today we're going to be pulling our sections out at 90 degrees, and then the next section we take, we're going to be pulling it down to a 45 degree angle and cutting it straight, and we're going to work up the head this way. So therefore that means that if we draw a head shape, we pull this out 90 degrees, and then the next section comes down. To meet that, we cut that section off, and then that section becomes the guide, and so on and so forth as we work up the head. Start this off, I'm going to start with my guide. I've got my sections in place here, so I'm using a hot cross bun sectioning technique, and my sections at the back are not perfectly straight like this. They're almost in a slight triangle like this coming down. So hot cross bun, slight triangular sections here. If you take your sections too straight here, what will happen is when you cut the hair, you'll end up with a smile line, and we don't want that. We're pulling everything back, we're pretending there's an invisible line in front of us, and that's where we're pulling the hair to. So I'm going to start off by getting my guide. The way I'm going to do this is, I'm going to judge where I want the length to be. So I want my length to be here. So I cut this straight, 0 degree angle. And then this becomes my guide. So then I'm going to pull this out at 90 degrees. Sometimes it's really beneficial if you're using if you have a mirror to the side of you, and you can check in the mirror that this is coming directly out. Then if I lift the hair, I will see that guideline, and that's what I'm going to cut the hair to. So I'm cutting this here straight across, and I'm imagining there's a line here. Now everything comes to this line. I'm not cutting a curve, I'm cutting a straight line here. So therefore that means the sides have further to travel than the section in the middle. So once I've completed my first section, I'm ready to move on to the next. Again, my sections that I'm bringing down are not perfectly straight across the head. They are slight triangular shape. Excuse my head from wobbling. Okay, my sections are roughly about 1 centimetre thick. This will depend on the density of the client's hair. If your client has really thick hair, you should take thinner sections. If your client has finer hair, you can take thicker sections. Okay, so here we go. Remember that first section I was telling you about, that we pulled to a 90 degree angle? So that stays at that 90 degree angle, okay? So here we go. The section here stays at a 90 degree angle. You can see here that this is getting pulled down, okay? If that's 90 degrees and that's 0 degrees, that's 45 right in between, isn't it? So I'm going to make sure, and this is where your mirror, having a mirror at the side would be extremely beneficial to you. A mirror in front as well. Remember, you're always checking that your client is facing the mirror and they're straight on. If your client has her head tipped to the side, you won't have an even haircut. Okay, so I'm bringing this down. I'm going to have a little check at the side to make sure that's 90 degrees, yep, and that's 45. Then I can clearly see my guide. I'm cutting to guide. Straight across, I'm following that straight line here. And same for here. 90 degrees, and that's coming down to 45 to make that. I'm cutting on the guide. I'm not cutting above the guide. I'm cutting right next to the guide. Here we go. Filling that down. Looking for my guideline. Okay. So now I'm going to cross check. So how do we cross check? If we're cutting horizontally, we're going to cross check vertically. So I come down here, check, check, check. And by this point you'll be able to see that the hair is also sitting at a 45 degree angle. I also like to check balance after every section. So the way I check balance is make sure that I'm taking this piece of hair from the same area at each side and pull out towards myself. And I can see that I've cut that nice and even to this line here that I'm going to. I'm going to move on to the next section now. Again, ready for my next section. So moving up the head to the next section. Making sure my sections are nice and even, not straight across, slightly tilted in the middle. It's almost like a triangle. Then I'm going to take, again working from my section in the middle, and what happened was the section from here that I pulled down to the 45 degree angle is now my guide. So therefore the section underneath comes straight out to a 90 degree angle, straight out from the head here, and this is here. Again, remember 90, 0, 45 as you move up the head. Look for that guide, cutting nice and straight. Straight line here that we're following, and following the guide. Again, cutting on the guide, not above the guide, and again not cutting anything unless you can see the guide. Unless you can clearly see that guide, you don't cut anything. And then I'm going to check, balance, and then I'm going in and checking vertically. And you can clearly see that angle there. Blunt scissors. Okay, so here's where it sometimes gets a bit confusing for people. So here we know this is called the occipital bone. We never ever cut above the occipital bone, okay? So when we talk about graduation, what graduation is a building of weight, okay? So even though we take sections working above the occipital bone, we never cut above that, as in we never lift a section and cut it above that bone, okay? So therefore, what does that mean? That means that every section we take from now on in is going to be pulled down, okay? So taking my section, working up towards the crown always, making sure my section's even at both sides. Okay. Now, this here is going to come down. Again, we start in the middle. So, we pull out. Now, underneath, there will be an element of 90 degree, and on top, it's a little bit further than 45 now, isn't it? Cut to line, cut to guide. And both my feet are flat on the ground, facing forward as I do this. I'm not standing to the side of the head, I'm standing directly behind the head. Again, cutting to line, cutting to this guide, working to the guideline. What am I going to do now? I'm going to check balance. I'm happy with that. And I'm going to check vertically. And that looks great there. That's following the line all the way down. And this is where the weight is going to build now. Lovely. At the top here. So the section from the crown. So the section from the crown is going to be pulled even further so that it's not being pulled above the occipital bone at all. So I know where the occipital bone is. The section in the middle gets pulled down to the occipital bone, directly out from the occipital bone. I'm again cutting to my guide. Cutting to guide. Check balance. And check vertically. Just a couple of strands there. So now we're going to move on to the sides. I'm going to do the sides very slightly different. I'm just going to tilt this head round so that you guys can see this properly. So the way I'm going to do these sides is vertically. So I'm going to start off by taking a slice down, and everything is going to be pulled back here and join in with this guideline. What do you think that's going to do to the front? It's going to allow the lengths to get longer, isn't it? So it's going to give you that lovely graduated shape at the front here. Okay, let's start. I'm putting my finger just here so I can catch my comb so that I've got a lovely straight section. Then I'm taking my section back, directly, straight back to here. And I'm going to cut on my guideline. Next section. Again, my four fingers under, just about to catch my comb, so that my section is lovely and straight. Comb directly back. Again. to guide. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to comb it to a 0° angle and just make sure there's no little stragglers at the bottom, just here. Look at the way I've got my fingers pointing forward. So because we've over directed this hair here back the way, that's going to allow the length to stay at the front. A lot of clients like that. An alternative to pulling the hair in vertical sections and pulling it back would be taking horizontal sections and exact same what we've done with the back. We pull the hair not to 90, not to 0, but halfway between, which would be 45, and then we cut to guide. Again, cut to guide. Next section, again just straight across, straight across, and that would be pulled and cut to guide, and pulled and cut to guide. And then the last section, exactly the same. Then finally, what do? We take our client straight on in the mirror and we check balance.